Hi guys, morning. Welcome to another day in my life and to another video. And today I want to talk about light. I've just come back from my morning walk and the sun is glorious and the sky is blue and it's all warmth and light. And it made me think about the Kabbalistic concept of divinity, of source, the Ein Sof, or the no thing without limit, limitless light, and how that is where we come from. That is our source. Primarily, we are not born of flesh, we are born of light. We are life born of limitless light. Wow. And I always love it when science catches up with the wisdom of the ancients, and how for centuries mystery teachings, occult wisdom has said that we don't only have a physical body, that we have a light body, and that it is the light body, the etheric double, that actually is the form that keeps the physical body in shape. That it determines its patterns, it determines its substance, it holds it in physical existence, if you like. And now science tells us that DNA emits light. It emits biophotonic light. And more than that these weak light emissions are the means by which cells communicate with each other to determine growth patterns, to differentiate between what is one organ and another. It's the weak light emissions form the pattern on which the body grows and is formed and repairs itself. In other words, biophotonic energy determine our physical selves. Well, who knew? The ancients did. They knew. And it's made me think that if we are beings of light, how is it that beings of light impact with their environment, especially in the realm of the physical? And I thought of the Vedic traditions, and the teachings of the chakra system, and how we are energy beings with swirling lotuses, which is what they likened them to, energy centers throughout our light bodies, which have functions and which are the means by which certain aspects of ourselves are manifested and how they operate. So life born of light in the physical world. And then it made me think of, to clairvoyant vision, thought appears as light patterns as well, because everything that we do is energy. There is only energy in various forms, at its highest frequency, free moving, free flowing, at its lowest frequency, locked down into solid matter. I could go in so many directions. This is the brainchild of Binar, locking free moving spirit into form. Why? So that consciousness can evolve and grow and become perfected. Anyway, no, don't divert down there, don't go there. So yes, to clairvoyant vision, even thought appears as light patterns. And in one of my earlier videos, I remember talking about thought as vibration as well, and how we have to be very careful, and this is taught to us through most of the major world religions and spiritual systems, that we have to be accountable accountable for our thoughts. We have to guard our thoughts. We have to focus them on things that are good and lovely and pure, and not things that are harmful and destructive and violent and cruel. Why? Because when we think and we transmit, because we are like radio transmitters broadcasting the vibration and the light of our thoughts out into existence. When we are broadcasting whatever it is that we let our minds settle on and fix on, we are sending energy out into our world. And I think in that video also I talk about, if we've ever been in the company of somebody that we consider to be, I don't know, they've got a certain something that calms us, and we look at them and we know that there's something about them that is different, that they are, whether we call them spiritual, whether we call them good men and women, whatever, there is something about them that we sense and we like and we are drawn to. Well, that is because in their thinking and in their being, they are broadcasting thoughts that are satisfying to us. And in their strength, in their stability, their strong vibrations are able to moderate and modulate the vibrational thoughts of others around them. So they bring them into harmony with their own vibration. The stronger vibration changing the frequency of the weaker vibration. So this happens with good people. It can also happen with bad people, which is why, if we spend too much time around people who fill their lives and their thoughts with things that are cruel and not wholesome, not uplifting, and we are equally, or we can be equally affected by those vibrations. And often people will say, well, there's so much wrong in the world. I'm a nothing, I'm a nobody. I can't really do anything much to change it. Well, that is so not right, because okay, you may not be able to change the world. You may not be able to be some great political figure that initiates and takes forward world change. But you can do the small things, as can I. But more than that, you can broadcast your light into the world. You can send out your vibrations and moderate the vibrations that cause the world to be unfeeling and cruel and at times to be a very dark place. And an interesting concept that I've been reading about lately is that we don't realise how much we are affected by the negative energies that are poured into our world. Yes, there is a lot of good, and we must never underestimate that. But terrible atrocities committed on huge groups of human beings, and beneath that, and this is not a vegetarian, vegan, message I'm putting out to the world, but when we look at the millions of animals that live torturous existences in intensive farming, in vivisection, in animal testing, from the moment they are born to the moment they die, their lives are misery. They live in torture conditions and they die violently, and then people eat them. Well, what about all the energy that these living beings are pouring out into our world during the days of their pitiful lives? Do we think that's going to have no effect on us? Do we really think that it's going to not impact on the quality of life in our world at all? Because if we do, we are very silly. Now, as I say, this is not a vegetarian vegan thing. It's people's choice if they choose to eat meat or not. But if they choose to eat meat, at least farming could be done in a humane way, so that there is some quality of life for the animal before they come to the end of their days. And I've often wondered, well, how is it that people do these things? How can people do such terrible things to other human beings? Like torture, killing, shooting, murdering. How is it possible? And a very good explanation that I heard of that is that, and again going back to the chakra system, how all of the parts of our light selves are meant to be working in harmony. The mental, the mental processing, the perceiving, the conceiving, but balanced by the heart chakra, which gives the mind information that it cannot get simply through mental processes. And as someone said, we often have lost the ability to feel the consequences of our actions. We try and rationalize whether something is right purely through the power of our mind, and we don't connect it with our heart chakra, which would allow us to feel the consequences of our actions and our decisions. Because if we felt the full impact of this thing that we are going to do now, or that we have done, we may not do it, or do it quite that way. But we have cut ourselves off from our feeling centres. I say we have, and I know not everyone has, but I think maybe we all have, to a degree. We have cut ourselves off from our feeling centres because it allows us to behave in ways otherwise we couldn't. And we keep it shut off and separated, because if we were to reconnect, we would then feel the consequences of all of the things that we have done, all of the decisions we have made, good and bad. And that perhaps this is our karma working itself out. We must come to a place where we do feel the full implications of everything we've ever done. We must know both the joy that we've caused and the agony that we've caused. And just imagine, if we were all fully connected and integrated, how we would not do anything that would cause harm to another living being, because in doing so we would know we would be harming ourselves. What an amazing world that would be. And I'm really thankful to a lovely man called Harald Kortzweiler for helping me to understand this, because I had known it intellectually. Again, knowing intellectually and knowing experientially different things, and we need the two, and we need to connect the two before it causes change within us, before it becomes a part of our knowing, before it becomes a part of who we now are. So I think at any time now in the future when I might be led towards doing something that is not worthy of what I am as life born of light, I will try and think about this, and I will try and feel the consequences of my actions before I take them. Anyway, great to chat again, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.